Hi everyone, welcome back to Clues by Sam. I hope you have a great week. And before we start, I'm on the lookout to play some other types of fun logic daily games. So if you have any suggestions for me, stuff that involves logic, like having to conclude stuff from the information that you're given. If you have any suggestions for that, you can tell me down below. And if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it's a daily logic puzzle game, like I said, where you have 20 people who may be criminals or innocents, and they give you clues, and you use those clues to figure out who is an innocent and who is a criminal. And you gotta do no guessing. The puzzle changes in difficulty every day, and I'm here every day practicing it. And if you want to play as well, you can check the link in the description. But if you just want to watch, we're gonna do this one today. So it's an easy one. Let's start now with Alice telling us that Sophia is one of 3 innocents below Floyd. Okay, Floyd has 4 people below him. 3 of them are innocents. Now, Sophia tells us there is only 1 innocent above Olive. So we know that Alice is above Olive and she's an innocent. So any other people above Olive cannot be. They are both criminals. And now Keith tells us that there are 2 innocents in between Floyd and Zed, which means that either Julie or Nancy are an innocent. The other one is a criminal, because Sophia is already an innocent below Floyd, between Floyd and Zed. And we know that there's 3 innocents below Floyd total, so to total 3, Zed has to be an innocent as well. Now, Zed tells us that no painter has a criminal directly to the left of them. So we look at all the painters now. Gary doesn't have anyone to their left. Isaac has someone to their left, so that person can't be a criminal. They're an innocent. Any other painters here? Doesn't look like it, so we don't need Zed's clue anymore. Now Hilda tells us that only one of the 2 innocents below me is Zena's neighbor. So Zena has 2 neighbors that are below Hilda. One of them is an innocent, the other one's gonna be a criminal. But Hilda has 2 innocents below her, and the only other person who could be an innocent below her is Laura. Now, Laura tells us there are more innocents than criminals in between Hilda and Will. Hilda and Will have 2 people between them. So none of them can be criminals, because they would be in the same number as innocents if there were 1 criminal and 1 innocent. So Pam has to be an innocent as well, and because of that, Will is a criminal. Now Will tells us that there's an odd number of innocents above Zed. Well, we know that there's 2 innocents between Floyd and Zed, and Floyd is also above Zed, so he has to be the 3rd innocent. Now, Floyd tells us there are as many innocent cops as there are innocent singers. Ooh, how many innocent singers do we have? None so far, I think. It doesn't look like it. Oh, we have Zed. Zed's an innocent singer. Will is a singer, but they're not innocent. Thar is a singer as well, and we already have 2 innocent cops. So Thar has to be an innocent. And now Thar tells us that column D is the only column with exactly 1 criminal. So we know that column B has to have another criminal, and Betty has to be that criminal. Now Betty tells us that both criminals in row 1 are connected, and we know who they are. They're Gary and Keith, and there's only 2 of them, so Olive has to be an innocent. Row! We're talking about row, not columns. How can I mix those up? It's letters and numbers, but anyway. That serves you for not paying attention. So both criminals in row 1 are connected, which means that David has to be a criminal. And now David tells us that column A has more criminals than any other columns. Wow. We know that column B, now we're talking about column A for sure. Column B has 2 criminals, so column A cannot have only 2. Olive has to be a criminal as well, so that column A has more than column B. And Olive now tells us that Xena has more innocent neighbors than Gary. Gary has 3 innocent neighbors, which means that Xena has to have 4, which means that Rob has to be an innocent. And now Rob tells us that exactly 2 of the 3 innocents below David are Pam's neighbors. So David is here. He has 4 people below him. Pam is here. And she has 2 innocents below David, neighboring her. So either mark we can do tags on the lower part of the card. How do I find this stuff so accidentally? Since when can we do that? Why did no one tell me? I gotta join the community on Discord. I think that's gonna help me a bit. But anyway, as I was saying, today is so full of surprises. Either Mark or Xena are gonna be an innocent and the other one's gonna be a criminal. And what else did the clue tell us? 3 innocents below David. So we know that Isaac has to be the 3rd one. Now Isaac tells us there are exactly 2 innocents to the left of Zed. So Xena has to be an innocent and Mark has to be a criminal. And now Xena tells us that each row has at least 2 innocents, which means that row 3 has to have 1 more innocent, which means that Nancy is an innocent and Julie is a criminal. And we are done. Okay, so we found another new way of tagging cards today, which is really good. I'm happy, very, very happy for that, because I've been asking for split tags for a while. And this is gonna help me a lot. We made a mistake because we didn't pay attention if we were talking about rows or columns, but that is fine. I had a lot of fun today and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any suggestions, and I will be back tomorrow with more Clues by Sam. Subscribe if you want to see that, and see you then.